Thanks for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. You can find us wherever you find podcasts or listen to music. When you have an opportunity, please give us a 5-star review, write a little note, tell us how we're doing. We really appreciate it. It helps us keep this thing going. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us at Facebook at Hidden Tracks. Instagram is at HiddenTracks99, and if you'd like to send in submissions or talk to us or give us any feedback about what we're doing, our email is myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show.
This is so cliche. You've got to be kidding me. It's the part where the unloved boy underloves and just walks away. At arm's length, maybe they won't diagnose. At this length, keep them wishing that they could get close.
What's up, everybody? I'm so excited today to have Donald Spence from Versus the World, an amazing band from SoCal. Now, if you listen to the show, as I hope you do, you will know that Versus the World's new album, The Bastards Live Forever, has been a rare choice to appear twice in our weekly threes of three things that we can't stop listening to. It has achieved my summer album status, which I get one per year, and this is the album that is this year's summer album, and so far nothing's come even close to it. So I just want to say, Donald, thank you for that, and welcome to Hidden Tracks.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. That's yeah, I feel really good about that, of the record, and I don't know, hearing the good response, obviously makes us feel good. So I appreciate it.
Well, you've achieved something that I don't take lightly, which is a band that created an unskippable album. There's not one song on here that I would ever turn off for any reason. Maybe the only reason would be because I may get a little teared up. But there's plenty of points throughout the album that I get goosebumps and I sit there and I'm like, fuck, I kind of felt everything that you were putting into it, which is very hard to do with so much music in the world, but you were able to do that. And I just want to say again, thank you so much for all you did in putting this album out and for all it took you to do, because it is very special.
Thanks, man. Well, if you teared up, that either means that you're a dad or you didn't know yours very well.
But I mean, I'm not going to say that, you know, my second favorite song is Are You There, Dad? But
it's pretty heavy, huh?
Yeah, very heavy. So why don't we get into real quick, just the quick formation of Versus the World, how it all came together back in 2005, I want to say you guys started, right?
Yeah, it was kind of started out of like the Ataris sort of imploding, like they were having a real hard time. And so me and the drummer and the bass player started this band. Mike and Chris from the Ataris was originally in our band. He left when we were not going to go to a major label. We went to an indie punk label, and he had kind of felt like he'd already done the punk thing, so he was out. But me and Mike started this band, and because we were just like really, really good buddies, and we were just out of the ashes of the Ataris, and then we picked up a couple different members along the way, but it was me and Mike's band when we started.
And then to where you are today, with taking on this, you and Tony spending a lot of time together writing songs. I mean, seeing how is it different from when it started to where you are now? Because there is a little bit of a change in sound and some more passion, I feel, coming through with the more recent stuff.
I think that we were younger. You know what I mean? I felt like I wanted to, like, I was singing a lot in metaphor. You know what I mean? Like and now I think I just kind of sing exactly what I'm not. You know, I'm not trying to hide any meanings in any lyrics. I'm just like singing exactly the thought that's going in my head. Writing with Tony is maybe the funnest thing I've ever done in my life. Because we're like a team. Like every song we write together. I mean, in a different way, you know, like I'll write the music for some. I always write the lyrics, but him and I coming together makes it like such a more, I don't know, it makes it more fun because we get so hyped on each other's ideas. Where normally I used to just write a song with an acoustic guitar and myself, and so I think kind of having a partner just makes things a little more rich and a little smarter because you have someone that can tell you, like, man, that's kind of a shitty song. So working with Tony has really made my songwriting a lot better, and I think I have more fun doing it now.
You brought up a good thing about you know, writing things and singing about what you're doing, and you can kind of hear the honesty and sincerity in what you're trying to say on The Bastards Live Forever. It's in your face. It is, if you don't need to, if there's certain things in your life that you're kind of thinking about yourself, you kind of spell it out to everybody right away. I mean, in Going Out for Smokes, that visceral line of "I'm too old to die young," which is just awesome. I love that line. And The Bastards Live Forever. The good die young, the bastards live forever. That it's truth and honesty, and I guess about how you're feeling at a moment. So did you find that easier or harder to do, putting the truth and honesty out there?
I think that it was easier. Because, you know, like I said, I used to like hide behind metaphor. Like I wanted to like sound deep. I don't know. Not like I wanted to sound like up my own ass, but I just kind of felt like, I don't know, like lyrics. I wanted them to be sort of vague so people could maybe relate to them in a different way if they weren't necessarily going through what I was going through. But then with the last two records, this one especially, it was just like I'd gone through divorce, I'd had kids, and it was just like there was no hiding behind anything. It was just like, I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of the Hold Steady the last few years, where it's like there's no metaphor. It's just like it's just a story being told. And you know, like guys like Chris Christopherson, I just like the idea of like just telling a story and you know exactly what the story is. I think I just kind of grew up and stopped trying to make things a metaphor. And it became really easy and really fun and really like, it's a bummer because the people that in my life that the songs are about, like there's no way that you know that it's about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's heavy.
Definitely.
There's some explaining to do on, you know, some people have called me since the record's been out. And like my father, I sent, because he's on the cover and I had to call him to like, you know, let him know that I was going to use his likeness. And he got to listen to the record and, you know, he owned up. He was like, yeah, I was a bastard. I'll own it. I'm sorry. So, you know, there's people that I showed the record to that made cameos in there so that they wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Well, and that's good because I know there are times, and I've seen it with similar artists where they'll write a song and people will call and be like, hey, is that about me? And at times you just got to be like, well, it doesn't fucking matter. It's about somebody. If you think it's about you, then that's maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But if you think it's about you, and I know I didn't write it about you, then that's on you, man. Like you got to figure that something else out in your life.
Yeah, but for my ex-wife and my dad, it was like I knew they were going to hear it, and I just wanted to get in front of it and be like, all right, check it out. Before you get bombed, here's a record about you. Yeah.
Well, that was very nice of you.
Yeah.
That was very nice of you. Now, in your life, when did music in your life change when it was no longer just some background noise? When did music become something special in your life?
It always was. My mom used to listen to oldies all the time, and she knew like every single word to every song. I always thought that was cool. She put me in choir when I was 5 or 6. I've been playing guitar since I was 8. Then the piano and the cello. I don't know. My mom just always wanted me to be in rock and roll. So, it all kind of just did that until I started my first bands when I was a kid. Like music has always just been one of the things that I do. You know what I mean?
What was the name of the first band you ever started?
Oh God, 50 Cent Short was the name of my first band. We had some stuff out. I could email you stuff. Some of it's really bad. Some of it's kind of rad. It's all like really young punk stuff. I remember how devastated we were when we were kids when there was an artist called 50 Cent. We're like, oh, we're doomed now. So we're like, we're never going to be shit. So it didn't matter. Nothing really mattered till Versus the World, really.
Well,
I tried to gig and I played a lot of shows and that's how I met the dudes in the Ataris and but you know it wasn't a good enough band.
Yeah. When you first started doing it, was it just this is going to be it? Because a lot of times it's, hey, I want to do this and have a little fun with my friends, but for some other people, it's been the minute you said you're 8 years old, right, when you picked up a guitar.
Yeah, I think my whole life, yeah, I thought I wanted to make records and be on tour. I always thought that was the coolest thing in the world. Yeah, I've always wanted to be in a band. I think I will always be in a band. I've always wanted to own a bar and be in a band, and so I bought a bar and I joined a rock and roll band. Like that was, I think I don't just I always try to like manifest things that I want, and they're simple wants and needs. But yeah, I think I will always sing songs.
That's awesome. What was the first band that you kind of, as a child, attached yourself to that kind of changed your stylings from your mom listening to old stuff and you growing up? When did you kind of find your way? And do you remember like what band or what, artist?
Before it was punk, it was Guns N' Roses and Metallica. I thought that they were the best bands in the world. That's what like started me. Like I really, really loved rock and roll, but when I heard Guns N' Roses and Metallica, I was like, holy shit, this is rad. This is it. And I saw them play and it was like this giant arena show. It was a really gnarly gig, and that looked like a magical world to me. But the first time I saw like a punk rock band, I think I saw Millencolin and this band Kid Tested. Like they got out of a van in Dallas, Texas, and got on stage. And something about that, I was like, oh, fuck, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what punk does.
Slash on stage, like that's winning rock and roll lottery. When I saw Millencolin and Kid Tested, I was like, oh, that's completely achievable. I can fucking do that.
Well, I think that's what's so awesome about, the punk scene, which really is that DIY. Everyone in punk started out doing it themselves, making their own sound, and it was just people like us. It wasn't like you say, it wasn't Slash on stage. No one can do that, right?
Yeah.
Besides him. But when you see your likeness in front of you, kids looking the same way, you're like, oh shit, so this can be accomplished.
Totally. I think that, and I think that after that, I've kind of been in a band playing shows ever since.
Now, being able to see those arena shows, what was the first show you ever saw? Like your first ever concert?
My first ever concert was Boys II Men were opening up for MC Hammer. I saw it in Denver, Colorado, and it was Boys II Men and MC Hammer on the Too Legit to Quit tour.
Now, did you pick that, or did someone else in your family pick that to go to?
I picked that. My mom took me. I couldn't believe it. My mom hates rap, and I was just like, "This is freaking cool." But yeah, that's awesome. And then my first real rock and roll show, went to see Lollapalooza, and it was check out this lineup. It was Rancid, The Ramones, Metallica, and Soundgarden, and so that was it. That was my first rock and roll show, and that was just so gnarly.
Yeah, that's Rancid, over.
Metallica, and Soundgarden,
yeah. When you're a kid too, I mean, my first Lollapalooza was 90. Wow, I aged myself. I think it was 92. And that changed my life. Like all these bands can do all this. There's all these stages. It was my first legit festival too. So like I had no idea what was going on. And it was a whirlwind of music. And I was like,
yeah, totally. I was a kid. I think we smoked clove cigarettes.
Yeah.
I probably drank a warm beer. Like it was like it might've been the best day of my life.
Those are those moments though that you can think back to it now and you can put yourself right to where you were, standing when you saw the Ramones for the first time, right? And you're just like,
yeah, I mean, it was the only time I would ever get to see the Ramones. And they were playing with Rancid, and I was a bigger Rancid fan, but I liked the Ramones. And I still remember seeing the set. I thought it was really cool. But like I said, I was a giant Rancid fan, so I was wigging out for Rancid. But I did know enough to be like to know that the Ramones were special and like not to blow it and miss it.
Yeah, well, it's that name. That's synonymous. Even if you didn't like them, like I was never the biggest Ramones fan. I'm still not to this day. But I get it. I get what they did. They made this power pop punk, as I called it. Like it was just okay. You can sing along to this. You can. This is fun for everyone.
Yeah, my mom used to tell me that like they got the Beach Boys and we got the Ramones. And so I was like, okay, I like that sentiment.
No, that's all. And I got the Beach Boys. So that's my first, that was the band that made my life forever live in music, was hearing the Beach Boys as a 6-year-old kid and just being like, wow.
Oh yeah, they're the king of backup vocals. That band is amazing.
Now, growing up, did you just find your way after that punk rock show at Millencolin and just kind of pigeonhole yourself into a musical scene like that, or were you?
That was it. I was punk, and I was making sure that I met bands. I was making sure that I booked shows, making sure that I played shows. Like punk for all, like I don't know, maybe 10 years. That was my identity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I kind of got lost in it because I was so into it. I'm glad that I became a musician and kind of I got a little broader of a personality, but for a minute there, it was like, nope, that's it. I'm punk. Punk is life. And it was a cool thing to be a part of because so many of us it was like living in it was living art, So I made friends that I'm still with today. But yeah, punk was just such a big part of everything I did from 12 to 20 that I was like, that's all I cared about was playing punk shows, going to punk shows, writing punk songs.
Do you remember your first performance as a punk rock kid?
As a punk rock kid, yes, I do. It was at Eisenberg Skate Park. Because a lot of the Dallas, Fort Worth area, it was hard to book shows because a lot of it was 21 and up. The Galaxy Club would every once in a while have an all-age show. But they built this skate park, and your band could book there, and they would pay you $200. And it was I was in high school, and you could get 50 of your high school friends there. It was badass. That was the first time
awesome
that people were like, oh man, like we could play with other bands, we could meet other bands, we would play with other bands from different towns. That was the start of a network.
Yeah, and I mean to be a young kid and $200 for a band. I mean, even opening bands nowadays don't even get that still. Like that.
Yeah, it would be $200.
Insane.
And you would split it with like 2 or 3 bands, and it would be like if you'd get like $50 for the opener, and then the last 2 bands would split up that $150. It was awesome. And kids always came. It was a place. It was like, I've said this before in an interview, but because I remember it just being like that badass club in the Ninja Turtles movie. Where like, you show up and there's kids skating and like, there's bands and there was arcades. It was like the coolest thing ever. And like, even if you weren't skating and if you weren't playing a show, you were just hanging out there because that's where other kids were. It was the raddest thing to be a part of as like a 14-year-old kid.
No, I mean, that's amazing. I'd never been a part of anything like that. I never had anything, over here on the East Coast and outside of New York City. There was never anything cool like that. It was, everything was.
If you were a parent, you would walk in and just see all these kids. Like, look at all these hood rat ass kids running around. They're like, where the fuck are the parents? But it was the coolest thing ever.
When was the first time you stepped out to play a show that wasn't anywhere near your home and it was new and exciting for you, but you didn't know how it was going to go because nobody knew who you were possibly at that time?
I was doing shows out of town with the Ataris. I had become really good friends. I had played some shows, one in particular in Denton, Texas, but I became really good friends with the drummer and the bass player. And Mike kind of took me under his wing. And so, yeah, I would play shows out of town with those guys. And then my first California show I got to... The Atari dudes got me in contact with this guy, Eddie Numskull. Eddie Numskull is like the best promoter and has been for 20 years in Southern California. And he put me on a bill with a band called Sugar Cult.
Oh, wow.
And Sugar Cult, like everyone looked like, at that time, everyone had like, I don't know, like Dickies shorts. Like everyone kind of looked like the first versions of Blink. And it was super lame. But then I play with Sugar Cult, and these guys look like they're in the Clash. Like, they look so fucking cool. I was like, okay, these guys got dressed up. Like, these guys, pay attention to these dudes. And they got huge. So that was, like, my first, like, run of shows that was away from my home and away from what I was doing that told me, dude, if you're serious about this, you got to be better. Like, you got to be a better band than what you're doing. And that's the second that I think I really started, like, changing my outlook and becoming a better musician and a better player.
Yeah, what was it for you, like, besides seeing what they were doing? I mean, because that takes a lot of... you got to look internally, right? You got to take stock of yourself and say, I have to be better. What was it that they were just truly better at than you at that moment that you're just like, if I'm going to do this, I have to be better.
They looked better. They sounded better. They performed better. Sugarcoat was the first band that I played with where I was like, oh, because, you always play with bands and, you become friends. But that was the first time I heard a band and saw a band. I was like, oh, dude, we got to practice. Like you can be a band or you can be like a band. And Sugarcoat was the first time that I was like, decided, okay, it's time to put like real respect into this craft.
And from that moment on, things became just more serious for you then?
Yeah, I was a lifer after that.
Yeah.
And it's cool because I'm really, really close friends with Sugar Cult's guitarist, Marco, to this day. And I hosted a birthday party for him at my bar one time, and I got to tell him that, like, dude, that was the moment, the day that you and I met, that I decided that I'm gonna be this thing. So it was cool to get to tell him that.
No, I mean, when you have an opportunity to tell people, just like at the start of the show, the fact that I have the opportunity to tell you what your album is for me, I've been on this earth for a while, and I only get one summer album of the year. So being able to tell that person, that means a lot, and that's awesome that there's an opportunity to do something like that, and for him to change your life in essence, really to put all your heart and effort into it to be better. That's an awesome moment.
Yeah, it was, it's happened a couple of times where I've like seen someone doing something that I was into, and thinking like, okay, like there's a better way. There's a better way to do this. And I've seen a lot of people fuck it up and be like, well, that's how not to do it. Okay, don't blow it.
Now, for you, and you've played all over the world. You are leaving in a week to go to Europe again to play. Through all your travels and all your shows that you've played, is there one that stands out for good or bad, that for some reason that moment never gets out of your head, that performance?
Let's see. We'll start with a bad performance. We were opening up for the Vandals for a Christmas show at the House of Blues, and it was Anaheim House of Blues, and there was this group of like 8 kids that hated my band so much that they just made sure they sat in the middle and just flipped us off for the full 30-minute set, just the whole time. And this one dude got so tired and just flipped me off that he rested his arm on his head just to keep that middle finger just like right in my eye. I was like, God, dude, to hate a band that much. So that was like, I always think about just how shitty that night was.
That's insane. And that's where I'm like, fuck you. You get up there and do something better.
That dude was so bummed on me. The coolest show ever. Oh my God. I don't know, man. I played a lot of really fun shows. We did Soundwave in Australia. We got to be on main stage with Blink and Flogging Molly and Paramore, like Metallica headlined that tour. That was a really special tour. I don't know, man. I think, yeah, Lagwagon, we did a tour with those guys most recently. And that was a really fun tour because everyone in that band is someone that I'm really close to. So that just felt like a month-long sleepover.
That's all.
So, yeah, I think that, the stuff that sticks out of my mind is like, yeah, the stage time is really cool, and that's why we do it. But my favorite parts of it are the backstage hangs, going out for meals, going out for drinks with the dudes afterwards. Like, kind of the hang time and spending time with people that I really love is like my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yeah, and I think it's so funny when someone comes backstage to see what truly goes on back there, and it's like, it's not what you see in the movies. It's you're running through the songs real quick, or you're just sitting there talking, laughing, enjoying each other's company. It's not the crazy debauchery that you've seen in movies in the fucking 80s and 90s. It's not how it really is.
Like, I'll set up Mario Kart, I'll drink, I'll do some drugs back there. Like, no, I'll have a lot of fun backstage. Like, I love like having a good time. But no, I would say, but it's not as debaucherous. But yeah, I like living in excess for sure. I absolutely love that. That's part of the thing.
Yeah. That came in the handbook when I started a band.
Yeah, I absolutely do not ignore how much I love to consume. So yeah, I enjoy being backstage and drinking and doing drugs. That sounds like a great time. As long as there's a meal afterwards, that sounds like a nice time.
As long as there's something to eat is all you need.
Yeah.
And when it comes to, this will probably be pretty hard. It's usually hard for people. It's basically our pick your favorite child segment. But if no one ever heard of your band Versus the World, and you had to play them 1 or 2 songs to essentially say, hey, this is who we are and what described us as a band in our own songs, what would you play for someone?
Oh, frick. I would play, well, let's see. I would do an old song and a new song. I like Frank Sinatra off the new record a lot. I think that's a really fun song. And for some reason, I would like to pick something like The Black Ocean from the last record. But our biggest song is a song called Forgive Me, which I don't think sounds really like our band at all. It's really weird. But I don't know, it has like millions of views on YouTube. So people really relate to that song for some reason. But so maybe I would have to do that one too. I don't know.
You don't have to do it because other people say it's your song, but
well, then for me it would be The Black Ocean and Frank Sinatra.
Awesome. That was easier than I thought. You came up with that easier. When it comes to something like that, though, when you see a song like Forgive Me be the song that is most listened to or downloaded or watched. What goes through your head? Because as you just said, it boggles your mind that that's the song that they picked. So, I mean, when you see that, do you ever try to replicate something just because of how much bigger it is than the other ones?
No, I don't particularly like that song either. I just kind of write, but I don't want to be this guy that doesn't like the song that everyone likes. Because like when you hear like that dude from Radiohead that's like, I won't play Creep, you just think, dude, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't want to be that dude from Radiohead. Even though I don't like the song, I'm not going to not play it. You know what I mean? Like, just like, don't be a jerk. But I think that this band is fun because so many of the songs are completely different. So I kind of like back the idea of just trying not to replicate, just try to let things just kind of stay loose.
That's awesome. I mean, and I think a lot of times there's some bands kind of see a formula that hit, right? And then they just kind of stay there and don't branch out. They're like, well, this one worked, so let's try to create things that are in the ilk of this.
And that's okay too. Like if I listen to a band like I don't know, like Weezer, they have a formula and they stick to it. And then when they broke away from it, I was like, okay, fuck this band now. Right? Like after, Blue Album, Pinkerton, Green Album, Maladroit. Yeah. I love these 4 records. And when they left their formula, I was like, okay, well then I'm done with this band. I'm done. If they're like bands like, I don't know, like Lagwagon or like say the Foo Fighters or like someone who does like where different records sound totally different, like maybe the Hold Steady, then I'm like, okay, I'm fully okay with that. I'm happy. So I think it just depends with the band. Because like I said, like Hold Steady or like these are the bands, I'm willing to grow with them. But Weezer, I'm not willing to grow. Nope. Yeah. I'm not willing to grow. If it's not the old shit, I'm out.
No,
at times I can be mature, but there's times where I just can't pull it.
No, you don't have to. I mean, that's the greatest thing. What was it? To try to have a great life, you need to be childlike without being childish.
Well, at this point with Weezer, I'm being very childish. Yeah. I'm sorry, Rivers. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah. Well, when he hears this, you may get a call. But.
Yeah, there goes the summer tour. Frick.
Now, when it comes to certain bands that have been a part of your life and you've listened to, or is there a band or two in your life that just never lets you down? Like how you just said you check out after the first 4 albums of Weezer, but a band that you always turn to for good or for bad, or you're like, you just know that you're going to want to listen to them and you're going to be okay.
The bands that I listen to the most, and I didn't really realize this for a little while, but the Hold Steady is my favorite band. I listen to them probably more often than anything. The Refreshments is another band that that I listen to like constantly. The Refreshments are, I don't know, they're not a band anymore. Now it's Roger Klein and the Peacemakers, but between that, I listen to a ton of Sam Cooke and
Me
Roy
too.
Orbison and Willie Nelson. Like these are the 4 artists that like no matter what, if I don't know what to listen to, those just go on while I'm driving, while I'm cooking, while I'm putting records on. So yeah, Sam Cooke, Willie Nelson, Roy Orbison, Refreshments, and the Hold Steady.
That's awesome.
Those are the ones that no matter what. And for a long time, it was the Alkaline Trio. I really loved what they were doing. But that was years and years ago. But I can still put on like From Here to Infirmary, and that I know every nuance of that record, and it's just fun to sing to.
So is that what you kind of look for when you are listening to something that makes you smile, or something you can sing to, something that has a hook?
Like, and for hooky stuff, Motion City Soundtrack, even if it kills me, might be the coolest freaking record because I'm a singer. Like there's bands like Hot Water Music or Rancid or Red City Radio where the singer isn't like a singer. But if they have this awesome thing. But if like a really singer stuff, I love Motion City Soundtrack. That dude does, and the singer of Bayside, Anthony Ranieri, those dudes, like if I'm singing to warm up, I'm singing to like Interrobang, the last Bayside, or anything Motion City. Because those dudes can freaking sing.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those bands, and Motion City is one of those bands too that is. I don't think they. I mean, they got some credit, but I don't think that they were ever truly, really, really appreciated for how good Justin was as a singer.
Total shame, because every time that they come around, I make sure that I see them. I freaking love that band.
Yeah, I saw him last year was the most recent, and it's just one of those things where it's like I see him play and I'm like I get happy, like, and it's weird. I go to a lot of shows and I'm excited for a show, but like seeing Motion City Soundtrack, I get instantly happy. I'm like, I'm happier now because these songs are gonna fucking rock and his voice is gonna kill.
Man. Yes. So yeah, like and I listened to a ton of Motion City because that's one of my favorite records, but that is my girlfriend's favorite record. So that's a road trip record for sure. I love Even If It Kills Me more than anything. Dinosaur Life was really kick ass. I mean, I just love their stuff.
Now, when you go to your Orbison, your Cook, your Willie Nelson and stuff like that, is that kind of like the stuff you listen to while you're traveling on tour, driving through beautiful countryside of Germany, going to the next show, or is it?
That's the stuff that I'm listening to nonstop when I'm home. I own a bar that's like a speakeasy, so a lot of the stuff that we listen to there is oldies, and so I listen to maybe more oldies than the normal person, because the lounge that I have, that's the music that we play in the background. So I'm always listening to old records and trying to find other old records to play at my bar. So I think that's why I focus so much on like Roy Orbison stuff or like Sam Cooke or Glenn Miller, that type of stuff, because I'm playing that as the background music at my bar. So that's why that stuff is always at the top of my mind.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because I was recently at a speakeasy in Savannah, Georgia, and and it was the coolest little fucking joint underneath, all the way down, like you can see the water coming down the rock wall inside. That's how far below it was. And then Madonna was on. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is not a speakeasy. This could be cool, but you're playing Madonna and Prince, and this isn't what it's supposed to be.
We have it's not like a speakeasy like 1920s vibe. It does look like postmodern. So the 50s and 60s era music plays really well at my place. It's called the Imperial, and it's a super fun. I just like. Here's the deal. I like drinking and listening to oldies. So at the bar, it's oldies and booze. So that's kind of, I mean, these are the records that my mom played me when I was a kid, and these are the records that I listened to as a man that I played for my kids. Like I freaking love oldies.
Nice. Now, what town is your bar in? So when I travel, because I travel for work all the time, I need to make sure that I go to the Imperial, because I also like to drink and listen to oldies. So,
check it out. Yeah, I live in Santa Barbara.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you should check it out. This place, it's really, really fun. I don't know how to. Maybe I'm going to sound like an alcoholic, but it's like if you drink for a living, you never work a day in your life. Yeah. I mean, seriously, it's super fun. I always wanted to be like Sam from Cheers, like just
Sam Malone,
but work at it. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to bartend there, but it's a social club. I really love doing it. I love like rolling up my sleeves and tending my own bar. It's been a dream, and it's the best thing ever.
But you also get to talk to people, and you find out about like it's a great thing, especially if you're personable and don't mind talking to anyone, right? Like that's awesome that you get to learn things and find out things of people and drink while you're doing it and know that it's your place.
Yeah, I love it. And I run it kind of like a band. Like we have like really cool limited merch. So, and like the people that I work with are people that I've toured with. So it's like, I don't know. It's like I have a Peter Pan syndrome. Like I'm like not going to grow up, and I made sure that I wouldn't. I made sure that I would have a job that made me feel like a kid till I'm an old man.
That's awesome. Good for you. Good for you for finding it, because a lot of people are miserable in life, not knowing what they really was going to make them happy and what they were doing.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I'm sorry out there. Go get yourself a bar.
Yeah. Now, when you go out on tour, which is coming up in a week or two. Like I said, I mean, what is your preparation like for getting ready and getting everyone together and coming up with set lists and how the shows are going to go off and things like that?
I personally prepare vocally. I rehearse as much as I can. Tony is an absolute like if I'm the heart, he's the brains. And the way that he prepares is he gets us all dialed in. Like that guy we have a rehearsal schedule for when we all get to LA before we fly out on Wednesday. You know, we have 2 days at a lockout with times specific. Like, I don't know, him and I shouldn't get along because I'm so like, I don't give a shit. And I'm like really like a free person, free spirit. And he's so regimented and organized, but it really works. Like it is a partnership out of love, and we work really hard. And so the preparation for me is rehearsal. The preparation and the reason I get to concentrate on like lyrics and making sure that my voice has the proper endurance is because Tony has everything locked in. Like it makes him feel better to have everything locked in. So I know that it's not like me being like pushing the responsibility on him. Like he truly enjoys it. But a lot of the prep goes along with being in a band with Tony. He's so good at it. So I get to just like prep by getting the songs prepared and done and rehearsed. He does all the hard shit. He's amazing.
Well, you kind of need that somewhere, and it's in normal life. You kind of need someone in your life too that is willing to take the responsibility and wanting to do it. And some people, I mean, my wife will tell me that I'm just a control freak, but I just being able to do something and saying, okay, here's this, we're doing this at this time. This is where we need to be. This is how we're going to do it. Everything's packed here. This is where this is going. This is where this is going. And a lot of the times for me, when I do things like that, it's because then I know that if something goes wrong, it's my fault. And I just have to take ownership of that. But at the same time, I know what's going on, and I can just tell the person who is just like, all right, just tell me where to be. I like having that person in my life too, where it's like, just tell me where I need to be and at what time, and I'll be there.
So yeah, in my bar, I have to be very organized because the buck stops with me. With the band, I love having Tony. It really works. Our relationship hasn't been strained by it, you know, and I always make sure that I'm vocal with him to say, dude, thank you for all the hard work. And I think that we're really good friends because we kind of understand the dynamic, and it works for us. He's not a control freak, and I'm not a slouch. I'm more slouchy than he is, and he's more controlling than I am, and it works.
Awesome. Now there was there came a time, a big gap between albums, right? And we do know that some crazy shit in the world happened in that span of time, but was that the longest in your career that you recorded between this album and Homesick, Roadsick?
Yeah, it didn't even feel like that long. It was weird. We came home and we started writing. And I don't know, me and Tony didn't really care about the stuff that we were writing. It just it wasn't inspiring. And I think the best thing that we did was, instead of just continuing, we just hung up the guitars for a minute. Because like I said, nothing inspired us. So we put those songs away, and then the world shut down, you know. And then during the pandemic, Tony called me, and we sent each other a couple more songs, and that's where things started to get interesting. That's where the songs became better. And we fell in love with this version of the record. And so we started doing like what people would do, like with a bubble, you know. So we like made sure that our families weren't seeing other families so that we could come together and make this record.
Mm-hmm. And
then it took a year to make because the world shut down for 14 months. And then after we made it, it took almost a year to get the vinyl out. So these records, some of these songs are 2.5 years old. But with like the shutdown, and then with the backup on being able to have records produced. So this record could have been out a year and a half ago.
Did you struggle with that of like, damn, we just want to get this out? Or was it like, were you just sitting there being like, well, we're probably not the only ones having to deal with this. It is what it is.
It was frustrating, and it didn't feel like that big of a deal until we had record release stuff done, and we're like, okay, we got to get out and do shows. And we're like, oh, shit, how do you play these songs? Because we'd been so removed for them for, I don't know, a year that we were like, okay, we got to go back and relearn this whole record.
Was it frustrating for you when you got back in to go learn it?
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Because it was new again, right? It felt new again?
Yeah, I mean, I listened to the record again, and I was like, oh my God, like I like this album. Like I was a fan of the record.
And it's hard. It's hard to do with your own creation.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, like if I listen to the first record and sometimes the second one, I'm like, I could take it or leave it. I'll play these songs because they got to go on the set list. I do like Homesick, Roadsick, but I do like listening to The Bastards Live Forever. Like I genuinely like this album, and I don't try to put it on a lot to kiss my own ass. My daughter likes the record, and so she always wants to hear songs. And then I'm like, okay, I find myself not being annoyed by it. I'm like, this sounds really. Like, yeah, sure, I want to listen to it. It's great. I have a lot of fun listening to this record.
No, and that's a great thing to have the love of your own creation and to be okay with it, because a lot of people, they're just never okay with what they put out. And again, the first time I heard the full record, I just stopped and I said, is that? Hold on. And then I stepped back and then I played the entire album again. I was like, yeah. There it is. And the first thing I started to do was send it to all my friends saying, hey, you got to check this out. And then the first opportunity I had to promote it on the show, I was like, all right, here you go. Weekly threes. Everybody has to go listen to this band.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Penny, what's your favorite song on your record?
Going Out for Smokes.
You like Going Out for Smokes? Pete,
yeah.
You like Frank Sinatra? Which one are you?
Frank Sinatra's really good. It's just an awesome way to banger to open up the album with, but it's Going Out for Smokes and Are You There, Dad? It's Me. Those two.
Yeah. You like the real bummer ones.
Yeah. Lyrically, I mean, it's some of your greatest work, and I feel it. The other, 2 days ago, driving to Sad Summer Fest with my wife, and Going Out for Smokes comes on, and I just look at her. I go, look at my arms right now. Just goosebumps everywhere. I'm like, every fucking time this song comes on, I'm like, that's how I know it's my favorite, because I automatically and immediately get goosebumps.
Well, that's good to hear, man. I appreciate that.
Now, what are you most excited for? You're leaving for tour in a week or two. What are you most excited for coming up with what you're doing?
Tour wise, I really enjoy going out with Tony and Pat and Flip to go out to eat at really good places, go to nice bars. I've always really liked the travel aspect of being on tour. Some of the shows we're touring with, we're playing shows with the Gimme Gimmes. Me and Joey are like best buddies. He lives in town too, so we spend a lot of time together. We're going to see Frank Turner. Also a really close friend. I really like the idea of, I like festivals because you get to catch up with buddies.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's like, yeah, it'll be fun to watch Frank Turner, but what's really going to be fun is having drinks with Frank Turner.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of touring is like the backstage, like the camaraderie, the fun part of it to me is the connections I'm making with these people that I know, or maybe I don't know yet, or that I've known and I miss. So yeah, like, Punk Rock Holiday, Bayfest, Brack Rock. These are awesome festivals. The Europeans really know how to do festivals. And I'm excited because I've seen the set times and the people that we're playing with. I mean, I have a lot of friends that I'm going to visit. I cannot wait.
Well, that is awesome too. And I've seen that at festivals backstage of people like being, oh my God, I haven't seen you in 4 fucking years. I miss you so much. What's going on? And it's just, it's that whole, it's the alumni, the music alumni that you have friends with that maybe graduated a year before you, or, anything like that. And just getting to see them again, just the genuine, oh my God, how are you? And actually giving a shit about saying, how are you?
Yeah, I can't wait. It's only shitty when you go to Italy because the Italians, they play so late that like you might be going on at 1 in the morning. You're like, God, I got to stay sober, and there's nothing but bros there.
Why is that in Italy? Why do they play so late? Do you know?
Oh, Joey's calling me. Why do they do that? I don't know. It's like, I like people that take naps, so I relate to the Spanish and the Italians. But going on at 1, Jesus Christ, that's gnarly.
Yeah, that's That's crazy. All right, you got 5 minutes left to live. The world is going to fucking implode, and you have to listen to one song. What song are you listening to?
One song before it's all done. What am I doing during this time? How long do I have?
You have 5 minutes, man.
5 minutes. You know, I think Only the Lonely. I really love that song.
It's a good choice. That's a great choice.
Just hit me with little Only the Lonely, down the love, down me do I love it. It has the doo-wop thing, but it has really sad lyrics, but it's like bright still. I love that song.
Hey, maybe you need to cover it now because you just got some pretty good vocal on here with it. So
yeah, I think that's one of my favorites. So yeah, I think I would do that, and then I'll die with the rest of y'all.
That's awesome. Do you have something that you listen to that you would kind of be worried if someone caught you geeking out to it by yourself?
What is something that I like that is kind of weird? I mean, not really, I guess. I mean, no, I can't think of like a guilty pleasure that, no. Because everything else is like, yeah, if I was listening to ABBA and you didn't like it, I'd be like, you don't listen to ABBA, man? Fuck off. Yeah, so I don't know. I think I'm confident in all of my choices.
Well, as you get older, yeah, that's why I took away that term guilty pleasure that you said, because now they're just pleasures. But I always have said there's that 3 seconds that someone walks in, catches you something, and you get that little well, now I don't care, but you were still scared for a second.
Yeah, I don't know, because like, you know, my whole life, like I've like I will like sing to like Dolly Parton or like I don't know, I think, yeah, I don't have it. Oh, I'm good.
Nope. With the instruments that you said that you started playing as a kid, guitar, cello, all that, is there one that you wish you stuck with, you know, as well as with the guitar?
I wish was, because, you know, I played the guitar all the time. The cello is I've never had to be like a shredder. I've always played background music, so I've gotten away with just being okay. But I wish that I had continued to be more articulate with the piano.
Everyone says that, and you know,
because it's really fun. And I hang out with this guy Brian Wallstrom, who is like a really, really articulate piano player. Like I can't sing and play the piano at the same time, like I can as well playing a guitar. I can't write as well. So what I like to do is when I write a song on guitar, I like to turn to the piano and try to learn it there too. Because there's something about like a Billy Joel style, like actual piano player that is just, it will always forever be fucking cool.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that I've seen and talked to, friends, that they'll just, same thing. They'll start on the guitar, they'll go to the piano, and it just, for some reason, it brings the song to somewhere else. Like, oh, there's more to do here than what I originally thought with just the guitar, but it actually brings up their guitar playing when they go to record the song for some reason.
Yeah, it's super cool. Like, and you know, like there's like, you know, when I'm rehearsing with Brian, we can just be like, oh, let's change the key. And like, he just instantly knows, like the way I do on a guitar, how to do that on a piano. And I just wish that I had just stayed more articulate with that. But piano was such a bitch because if I was touring for so many years, I always had a guitar on me. Yeah. Piano was something that was less accessible.
Yeah, there's not always, you know, hey, who knows? Maybe you missed your calling being a keytarist, you know?
Now, that's what we're talking about. Now, that's something about a keytar that says a druggie backstage. If you have a guitar player, someone's holding coke. Like, oh, that's just the way it is. Like,
oh, I love that label. That's a keytar? Yeah, no, that they're holding coke.
Yeah, that just got low. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, listen, I don't want to keep you forever. I really appreciated our time today, and I appreciated what you did with your album for me for the summer. Just going to still
I'm glad
kill
you
it.
Like it. I really like. I want to continue writing. It's hard for me to like write songs right after we put a record out because I don't want them to sound too similar. But me and Tony I think we're ready to keep writing.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited for what's to come next because this blew me the fuck away. So, but we're going to move into our weekly 3 segment. It's where you guys have already appeared twice in the past couple weeks because it's what I've been listening to, and I will continue to push it because it's such a great album. But it's 3 things you're listening to that you would like people to check out. So you get 3 and I get 3.
Okay. 3 songs, 3 records that I like right now.
Yeah, three things you're listening to right now that you're digging on.
Thrashing Through the Passion from the Hold Steady is a pretty constant listen for me right now. Frick, what's this? God, what's the I Am the Avalanche dude's other band? Frick, I've been listening to it nonstop, but I can't think of it right now. Hold please. Cities Looking for a Heart. I'm going to my phone.
It's what everybody usually has to do.
The Movie Life. That's it. Their record, Cities in Search of a Heart. Holy freaking crap. Vinny, the singer on the Avalanche, it's their other band, and that record rips. Like it's a pretty nonstop record for me.
Awesome.
And I've been kind of going back to old Get Up Kids and Matt Pryor stuff because Matt is coming to Santa Barbara. He's playing in a living room this Tuesday.
Nice.
So we're gonna go watch him and drink wine and watch him play in a buddy's living room, which is a freaking cool tour idea. So I've been listening to Confidence Man, which I think was his 3rd solo record after the New Amsterdams and after the Get Up Kids. The guy's in so many bands.
Mm-hmm.
But that record, like sometimes solo records can get a little boring, but that record just doesn't get boring. And I really, really love it. So I've been listening to a lot of New Amsterdams and Matt Pryor.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just saw last month or 2 months ago, so Matt Pryor, Kevin Devine did the New Amsterdam stuff.
Right?
So.
Yeah, that tour looked awesome because they were doing the New Amsterdams thing. They didn't play San Diego, but instead, because it got canceled, so they're doing this living room tour. And yeah, I'm going to go cruise and see that on Tuesday.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope you'll enjoy it. Matt is, rarely ever disappointed me live.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
All right. So my 3 for this week. The first one is a band called The Hard Aches. It's HARD Aches. The name of the album is I Saw the Future. They're an Australian, I guess, alt rock band. Number 2.
Hard Aches?
Yeah, The Hard Aches. ACHES.
Okay, cool. I'm looking them up right now.
Yeah. The next is a band called Rest, but it's WREST. The name of the album is End of All Days, and they are a Scottish indie rock band. So if you like Frightened Rabbit, you'll probably like Rest.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like Frightened Rabbit.
And last,
I'm going to screenshot that. What's the record called?
End of All Days.
End of All Days. Cool.
And last but not least, a band called Chief State, Canadian punk rock band. The name of the album is Waiting for Your Colors, and that's spelt the English way. Colors, COL.
Yes, I see it with the U. Oh, how fancy!
Yeah, very fancy. It kind of takes away from their punk rock attitude by throwing a U in there, but whatever.
I just saw the picture. You know what else takes away from the punk rock attitude?
The fact of what they look like.
Shirts in. Why is everyone tucking their fucking shirts in now? God damn! What are we going to a parole hearing? Like, get that shit out of your jeans.
Tucked in t-shirts are weird.
It's fucking lame. I hate it. It's like socks with sandals.
I saw a tucked in t-shirt with the sleeves rolled up a little bit the other day at a show.
What the fuck? Like a greaser? I like the classic look, but I'm not buying it. You're a phony. You're a phony. That was good. We get to rant like old men. That was good. We ranted like old men while talking about new music. That makes us romantics. I love it.
See, that's a great way to put it. Yes, we are romantics.
Yeah, I'm nostalgic. I'm not a prick. I'm nostalgic.
Yeah. Oh, man. But Donald, thank you so much for being here, man. This has been absolutely awesome. And again, thank you so much for what it is you do, because without it, we would have never met. You wouldn't be out there in the world and people wouldn't know who you are. And I just think it's so important what it is you do as an artist and what you give the people to love. And it means the world. And I just want to let you know that you matter. You matter to me. You matter to a lot of people. And what you do is fucking amazing.
Well, thanks for the kind words, man. Thanks for taking the time out today. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
We will. Everybody, you know what time it is. It's time to go out, listen to Versus the World, and have a great fucking time.
Well, if we all die of cancer and we all get divorced, then how bad can this really be? How bad can this really be? Yeah, we all die of cancer and we all get divorced. Let that just sink in. I gave up, I gave in. I started sweating bullets, so I cashed all my chips in. I gave up, I gave in. I went out for smokes and I never came home again.
Thanks again for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at HiddenTracks99. Also, send all your submissions myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Tune in next week. You may find your new favorite band, and don't forget to go out and have a great fucking time.